30% gauntlet. Let's see. It gets through the confusion, and it hits! The 30% hitting on the third try.
Amazing luck there for Kingslayer.
Gengar can be a huge late game cleaner when things are weakened, so if Gengar, Persian is asleep, if it's not able to work off those sleep turns, this could be a huge momentum swing in Hootie's favor.
We're thinking, we are going for a guaranteed swap here, because you really don't want to lose this Persian. You also can't risk waiting for it to wake up on the field.
So Persian switches out without taking any sleep turns, and Executor comes in. Executor's role is often just to be a very bulky Pokemon, it's tough to take out in one hit, and it can just spread paralysis. In this metagame without DV, so many things are fast and hit hard, but they can't take many hits in return.
And it's been an amazing just Gengar check for all these teams with Persian, since Gengar can only do so much against it.
Yeah, with both Nightshade and Thunderbolt. Running, the main thing is Gengar loves to spread paralysis though to help Persian. So Persian can come in and clean up with a few slashes, but with Persian asleep, straight in the Chansey.
Yeah, right, going directly into Chansey here.
Now Chansey does have Fire Blast, which can hit Executor hard, but it has Egg Bomb to hit Chansey back. I saw this playing out on stream a few times earlier. The other interesting thing is there's no PPFs in Stadium. Chansey only has 5 Fire Blasts.
We only have Fire Blast here, and Fire Blast is not a guaranteed hit. It is I believe 80 or 85% chance to hit.
Yeah, and match that with the chance of just getting fully paralyzed. Let's see.
Paralyzed on the spot.
A rough spot
You
to
can
be
hear
in.
Hootie yelling from here. Egg Bomb is probably a
range.
range to kill, it's not guaranteed, and Chansey does have a rest. And Egg Bomb isn't 100% accurate either.
No, we may even be considering a Leech Seed here with just how big of a health pool that Chansey has.
Yeah.
That guaranteed percentage health from the Chansey may go a long way here.
This is a very high variance matchup. Both of them have tools they can use to hit the other, but neither of those tools are reliable.
Right.
It is the Egg Bomb again. This is likely a range to KO based off the damage we saw that first time.
Are going to connect here
and
take out the Chansey. Oof.
That is big. Taking out Chansey without taking any damage from Chansey in return.
Tough spot for Kingslayer here. We're really thinking it out here, losing both our Chansey and having the Gengar so low. This is a really tough spot here.
If that was Hootie's Chansey or Kingslayer's Chansey?
That was Kingslayer since.
Oh, it's Carl!
Okay.
How will the type
said that
difference
wrong.
And
affect
going
that?
for the Tauros. I do like this. Tauros is not the king of Pokemon Stadium rentals as he is one of the kings of Gen 1 OU.
But it is a solid mon. And interestingly,
Does
while
also have
Hyper Beam was patched in
Staring each
Stadium.
other down.
Well, Hyper Beam was patched in Stadium, so you still do have to take the recharge turn if you get a knockoff. Double Edge was changed.
Here's
So you
a
don't take
Pokemon.
recoil if you get a knockout with Double Edge. So it's almost like a mini Hyper Beam.
I know, like I've been comparing this as to like a little bit of like patch notes for competitive Pokemon when they release Pokemon
He
Stadium.
does read the switch. He gets the Fire Blast off. Is it a burn?
How will the
No burn.
No burn.
Pokemon fight?
However,
Is that
a really good spot here for the Gengar, but it still can take a nice little chip damage from the Fire Blast.
If it's
but
special,
it still could get burned.
It can't take too much from him, but and it's still 5 points away from that vital 100 HP threshold, which allows it to now go down to just 2 Nightshades.
The trainer's changing Pokemon.
Swapping out the Tauros, well aware of just the card that Gengar is here. Going into the Electabuzz. Now we have been seeing Electabuzz do a lot of work here so far.
What now?
Confused, right? So now it has a chance to do a lot of work, but also a chance to do nothing at all. So Gengar's primary
possibly the
attacking
opposite.
move using its stats is Thunderbolt, which won't do much, but it can go for consistent damage with Nightshade, or it can switch out. With the Persian asleep, it cannot put another Pokemon to sleep.
We are going to swap the Gengar, possibly to keep it from getting paralyzed or getting too much chip damage here. Is it a Zapdos? Amazing swap, especially if we're going for the Thunder Wave.
It's confused, and it goes through, and it connects.
And we are
That
dropping
special
Zapdos
drop is
special.
huge in the matchup. Because in Gen 1, of course, with your special attack and special defense combined into one, it makes Zapdos take more damage and receive more damage.
Yeah, that is a very rough stat to have drop here.
But even then, it only do 45, meaning it's
It won't
only
be
a
doing too
roll
much
for a
more.
3-hit KO.
Yeah.
Even with the special drop.
They're staring each other down.
However, it
But
is.
Electabuzz, not much on Hootie's team wants to be, or whose team? Who has Zapdos out right now?
This is Darius.
not much on Darius' team wants to be paralyzed, and with Electabuzz having that Thunder Wave, which can't even paralyze Zapdos when it switches in.
And Zapdos does have the Sky Attack, so Zapdos, if predicting the switch in, could just go for the Sky Attack.
And let's see.
And
Oh, it's the
going for
Thunder Wave.
Thunder Wave. Still a really good choice here.
Yeah. Executor is one of a slower mon, so if you have something getting paralyzed, it doesn't mind it, but nothing wants to be paralyzed. Nothing likes it.
No, it's always a tough spot to be in, having to have a dice rolls chance of getting what you want here. And both trainers thinking through their next move very hard here. Yeah, this is a really pivotal turn. Both players need to figure this out.
It's a lot of reads, it's a lot of predictions, it's what precisely you want to go for.
Going for the Sky Attack. Now let's see.
Oh,
that's a shame.
So now something has to switch in and take that huge Sky Attack.
Kingslayer may be having to send in. There's not an easy switch here.
No, Electabuzz takes it best,
maybe?
but nothing really wants to take that solid damage.
Absolutely not.
And while it did get a special drop, Sky Attack is physical.
Let's see.
They strike fighting poses. Here's a
Executor
Pokemon.
does switch out. That would almost certainly KO it with the Sky Attack, so let's see. It is into
Tauros.
Tauros. This will be big damage off into Tauros. Let's see exactly how much.
And it is a 90% chance to hit. There was the chance of it missing. And we're getting the crit.
And that's a one-hit KO with the crit.
Oh my goodness. That is
Huge.
a tough loss for Kingslayer here.
In the number of remaining Pokemon.
Now, both Persian and Tauros filled some of the roles, but with that taken out.
Yeah, the Gengar's too low to get too much here. Electabuzz might be able to do something. It's not much. All we really have here is a safe Persian switch, maybe.
Here's a Pokemon.
Gengar comes out.
The Pokemon are
Now,
entirely
Thunderbolt is
different
neutral
types.
against Zapdos. Reminder, Zapdos still does have that special drop, so it's both doing less with Thunderbolt and taking more, so let's see what happens here.
Right. Really thinking it through here. How we want to go for this? Maybe try. No,
Kingslayer
because
does not
we still have
him on
the
his sleep.
Sleep Mon in the back.
What's
Going for
that?
the Thunderbolt. Going for the Thunderbolt on the drop Zapdos. And that is enough to be a two-hit KO.
Doing some meaty damage.
What's this?
However, we do have the
The
Thunder
Thunder
Wave.
Wave in return. Now the Gengar mirror is super volatile with the speed tie, but now it no longer is with the Gengar asleep.
Now it's much more guaranteed here for Darius' Gengar.
It's building
Going
energy
for the
Going
Sky
for a
Attack.
Sky Attack.
Bold choice. I do understand it. It might force a switch here.
Oh, the full paralysis and now outspeeding. And once again, he's in the shape of something having to switch in to take a
That was a
Sky Attack.
big risk there, considering honestly Thunderbolt still might have been able to do a lot of work there. But now are we going to sack the Gengar or are we going to swap it?
Gengar is not staying in, even though it's paralyzed. Let's see what goes in. Looks like sacking the Executor, letting the Executor go down to a Sky Attack.
That's a rough spot to be in. And we are going to connect the
Let's
Sky
imagine his
Attack.
KOs. Let's find out.
This probably does with this.
And it does. Zapdos got the special drop, but does not care. We'll just go for its physical attacks to clean up here.
There's a difference in the number of
Who
reserve
needs a
Pokemon.
special attack when I also have a physical attack that does
Exactly.
fat meaty damage?
Just putting Hootie's side in a very solid lead, which was what I was rooting for, you know, build him up so he can fall. But again, with all the variants in Gen 1, and keep in mind, even when something seems guaranteed, the 1 in 256 glitch was packed in Stadium.
Yes,
but it was patched and changed into 1 in 6,535 glitch. So even 100% chance has a 100% chance of hitting, has a 1 out of 65,000 chance of missing. That could happen.
Commentary for 2 seconds on
you're
Crawl's
welcome.
match right here. My wife's about to die.
Oh, yes,
Kingslayer's about to die.
The
I'd like to
battle
commentate
continues.
just as he dies.
We have more enemies, more ops taking the stage. It's up v up, hater v hater right now.
Teflon
on the
Ron,
commentary booth.
Teflon Ron and Kingslayer were humbled in a huge way by Darius today. Look at that, that's gonna kill him.
Another Sky Attack going up.
The level of Mon from these professional guys is off the
There's a
chain.
distinct difference in
Because
the
we
number
all
of
know now
remaining
what's the S tier
Pokemon.
Mon, and Darius did not pick all S. There's no Articuno in his lineup. He switched out for a Zapdos. He has no Ground Mon
Furious battle.
because we know Persian has that water move that kills
Yeah.
all Ground Mon.
Yeah.
It's high level out here, and my eyes are open My eyes have been opened.
Strategies. I've heard people hating on the Sky Attack before. It was a 2-turn attack saying
It's
you couldn't
amazing.
get something. This is showing when you're well positioned, when you've spread paralysis, when you've worn down the checks, Sky Attack has put in a ton of work here.
What's your game tag again, by the way?
I'm Nicholas Rubing. I'm the
Nicholas.
mismatcher.
Nicholas. Darius got Mimic Nightshade versus my Gengar on the Switch.
Yeah.
He anticipated it perfectly, and I played games with the menu too. I switched it around. I made it look like I was throwing an attack.
Yeah, that was big.
I'm telling you, you guys are really on the highest level possible.
Yeah.
That's all I want
Good to hear from you. Yeah.
They're staring each other down.
All right, we're getting back into it. It's the end turns. Again, it's looking pretty solid in Darius' favor, but nothing is guaranteed in Stadium, even when somebody's looking very strong.
Going for the flash here.
Oh, the accuracy drop.
Yeah, feels like there wasn't much need for that.
Thunder Punch, and that will take the KO.
Alright, going to lose his
But Zapdos Morven did it as well. It's
Yeah.
taken a well-earned rest after how much damage it's did.
Reserve Pokemon. Oh, it's Moltres.
Trading the Moltres.
Getting the
The
Moltres right
Pokemon
in.
are entirely different.
still
Electabuzz
big
can
threat
hit it
there.
hard, but
With the Electabuzz paralyzed, though, we could still go for the substitute
yeah,
and just pray.
even spamming Substitute because with between the paralysis and the accuracy drop, it's got a decent chance of not getting an attack off.
Absolutely.
And you could just clicking Substitute over and over again, hoping that eventually it gets a miss.
Correct me if I'm wrong, however. Isn't it in Pokemon Stadium / Gen 1, substitute does not protect against status moves?
It was fixed in Stadium. In Gen
Okay.
1, it only blocks a couple, but in this one, it blocks all status moves.
Right, I was getting confused.
And it misses!
Ooh,
Now,
amazing
an
job.
incredibly strong position. Both a Substitute up against a paralyzed accuracy dropped foe. Free to just start clicking Fire Blast and finish it up with that.
Darius can just really close out here. And honestly, all Kingslayer has in this moment is just hoping that Fire Blast misses.
Yeah, it is not perfectly accurate.
Whoa! But that is hit.
We are going to get a
He is a
nice chunk of
2-hit
damage.
KO if it can collect. Let's see if a Psychic
What's that?
is enough to break the sub, and this could get a special drop.
The hit.
Or the sub, actually, I'm not sure.
Fireworks are flying.
Ooh,
It
the
doesn't
sub
even break the
survived.
sub. The Moltres takes it.
Who the hell picked Moltres?
Darius.
Moltres has been putting in quite a bit of work. No, he had it last game. Darius did have Moltres from the other game, I can confirm.
There's a distinct difference
Let's
in the
see.
number of remaining Pokemon.
Now, with the sub up, this is, again, nothing is guaranteed, but this is looking very strong in Darius' favor. And how many matches are left? What's after this?
Let's see.
How will
I don't
the
have
type difference affect that?
bracket. Mohammed has that. So we would have to check with them. We are going into our last and final Pokemon here with the Persian.
But one interesting problem with Persian, although Slash is a guaranteed hit, which gives it so much damage,
Right.
because that's factored in the damage, it can't crit again.
Right.
If you're in a situation where normally maybe a quick crit could put you back in the game, if it's already going to crit, you can't double crit, you know?
Right.
So it could not one-hit KO this Moltres more than likely.
We weren't able to take out the substitute and just barely survive. There still is a fairly okay. There is still a very
very much
okay
back in it.
chance here for just a sweep here, but we do have to get lucky. Switching into the Gengar. Yeah. Let's see if we were able to call that.
I think no, and with
No.
Persian unable to two-hit KO it with anything,
Yeah, that-
and with
that
Nightshade
is
being
just
100%
game.
accurate and being able to hit normal types, this seems like it's a lock for Darius.
Kingslayer had to get that next turn correct. Honestly, every turn afterwards correct, but we sadly just were not able to make it. Going for the bubble beam, maybe praying for a crit.
Yeah, Hootie's happy about it. You see his little fist bump.
Yeah.
And then Nightshade,
Landing that
that
Nightshade.
should clean up the game. Very well played by both players. Solid teams,
Absolutely.
high-leveled game, but just, and that Sky Attack again.
Yeah.
Not one that's used in non-rental formats, or really used in modern Pokemon at all, especially not without a power herb, but really showing the power of something can do in a format like this.
Exactly. This is a very controlled format.
Yes.
There's not a lot of variance in the team picking.
Right. And the
So-
other thing is, if you know, well, A, you
Yeah.
can see him on screen. If
Exactly.
you're familiar, you could know all your, there's team preview, you could know all your opponent's moves from game one. You know what I mean? Everything could be figured out.
Since, we have all the moves, preset. So if you're really like dedicated, you could just memorize each Pokemon set.
Exactly.
And maybe not focus on the Pokemon with like a little less relevance, but still like keep an idea of what they could have.
Yeah, but the thing is, what's the, is it a Muhammad Ali quote or Mike Tyson? I forget. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Everybody has planned until they miss 2 Fire Blasts and get crit by a Thunderbolt. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Even the plans, even if you know going everything into it, it's such a high variance game, you're never secure.
No.
You know? I mean, you could see me on stream yesterday in Pokemon, and even I would think a lower variance format like VGC, even when I was feeling good, I was stressing. No turn was guaranteed. You know what I mean? And it's very much that way in Pokemon Stadium.
It's an amazing job there.
Strong play by both players, and I'm excited to see how it keeps going as the matches are going to keep heating up more and more.
Because we keep getting like these amazing sets. There might not be all that much variety in the teams, but there is still a lot of variety in people's game plans and how they want to execute these teams.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do we know who's going up next? It's Darius and Ben is coming up next.
Oh, so this is actually the second time they fought. They did fight once earlier in an incredibly close match.
Losers bracket
Ben
runback.
did take it with, I think, 10 HP on his final remaining Pokemon. And it came down to one of those Gengar speed ties. Because it's both Gengar speed tie and it's also, do you go for Confuse Ray? Do you go for Hypnosis? It's an incredibly volatile matchup. And Ben did end up pulling it out.
All right.
So the other thing that, something that we won't know while we're on stream, but does happen is, I will say the control scheme is kind of difficult in Pokemon Stadium. I'm not going to lie. I can say I made quite a few missed inputs. And that is something that can play in effect. Hootie, our winner is coming back here. You got something you want to say?
Listen. Apparently, this guy's been hating on me the entire time. From what I've heard.
I've been rooting for you because I want you to lose in finals. I'm building you up
he was
so your
building you
fall
up
can be great.
so you can have a greater fall later.
I saw the chat yesterday. I saw you in chat rooting for my downfall.
Exactly. I gotta humble you, man.
Exactly, and I gotta humble you.
Okay. All right.
But I would say, hey, to keep the rivalry alive, we both out of here with a first place trophy in 2 different events. We're both members of the Elite Four in 2 different events. It's a pretty good place for a rivalry.
So let's see, and then
so it's kind of a win-win for me. Either my rival is destroyed, which is great, or my rival wins, which as my rival, it's good for me. It's good for me to have a strong rival. You know what I mean? No matter what, this will be good for me.
Yeah. So I cannot wait to see. As we go in, we already have our rental teams kind of ready, just looking for it.
Is that for me or for Hootie? Does Hootie have one? Thank you. Sorry.
Going
That was
into-
about water, in case you were wondering.
Water.
A little behind
Stay hydrated.
the
Also,
scenes info you got.
Because we keep getting knocked, so I keep having to go in and.
Yeah, a lot of interlopers. I apparently opened the floodgates to.
Even before then, there were just a lot of like bimping and bumping.
Yeah.
So it does happen.
I may tweet out a link to this, especially if Hootie loses this. I want as many eyes on this loss as possible. But now, this is a fun tournament. Stadium Rentals is not a format I was too familiar with, but if you're watching this at home, you think this sounds fun, Pokemon Stadium is on the Switch Online.
I've been saying that.
And you can do multiplayer online.
Yes, I know I personally have been curious as well since my favorite Pokemon is Teddiursa was here.
And by the way, if you're wondering
Teddiursa
why
was
Pokemon Stadium got added to Nintendo Switch Online, it's because a week before they did that, I went out and I bought an N64 in Pokemon Stadium. And then a week later, they put it on the Switch. So you're welcome to everyone for allowing you to play this at home.
Is a little like obnoxious when that happens. Mo, can you let him know? Yes. So that is one of those things
hopping into
we
this
are
match.
currently thinking over what Pokemon we want to go in with next. We probably were thinking about it before we got the AOK. So we are going to go right into it.
Now, in a lot of Gen 1 matches, up until Gen 5, there was no team preview.
Right.
So a lot of teams will have a dedicated lead. But with you being able to see your opponent's whole team, you can change your lead to the opponent's team. I'm curious what we'll see here.
It's one of those things where it wasn't necessarily in the handheld games, but the stadiums, coliseums did have technically team previews.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where I do appreciate how it's always going to be a slightly different meta because of it.
Yeah, and it's funny how little changes like that, sleep clause, and stuff like that can totally change the metagame. Even just small tweaks to the rules in
The free battle is on. The champions of tomorrow have begun their super hot battle.
Persian lead, safe lead, strong in almost everything but Gengar. Now let's see, we've heard a couple talks about the bold mimic prediction on the Gengar switch-in. Let's see if it goes for again.
We've been trying to go for that as much as we could, especially since that kind of does make or break that matchup and decide if you need a swap or not.
Here's the first
And
move.
Ben not predicting the swap and just going for the Electabuzz right then and there.
Yeah.
Not getting the crit though.
Oh, but the Thunder Wave.
Thank you, Thunder
One of
Wave.
Gengar's strengths is its speed. So Persian's strengths is its speed. So now paralyzed, that really limits what it can do and its ability to clean in the late game.
Absolutely. An amazing job there for Darius, predicting that we were not going to go for the switch there and just going for the Thunder Wave. So while we took a decent chunk from the Electabuzz, we did do a tremendous job in neutering this cat.
Mimicking the opponent.
Oh, and this time we do get the mimic. I actually didn't see. Did it get the Nightshade there, or what move did it mimic?
I honestly missed it too, to be quite honest.
Well, let's see if he reveals it to us.
They strike fighting poses. What the weak.
Oh, the critical hit Thunder Wave. That's huge damage. Almost a one-hit KO on Persian.
It's
Which is
paralyzed
fully
on the
paralyzed.
spot.
Oh, that's a shame.
Fireworks are flying.
Last
in
time we
this
saw the
battle.
Persian put to sleep, and this time paralyzed and up at low HP. Both games, one of his strongest. Often considered the strongest Pokemon in Stadium Rentals. Not been able to put in that much work.
Darius really does have a
Is
feeling
it down and out?
taking out the Persian as soon as possible.
What Pokemon will be
Definitely a
fighting
huge
next?
swing in Ben's favor. The other thing is, both of these trainers have fought each other before. We're familiar with the play style. We could see some more reads, knowing that they know when they might want to switch, when they might want to stand, all those types of things.
Now, while Darius did lose a very major piece here, just that was no pawn, that was our potentially our queen here. There still is a chance to take this.
Especially getting the outspeed and the hypnosis hit, that high variance matchup. But the immediate wake up, it means it can't move, but still, we're right back in the situation we are in the previous turn. I can tell in Hootie's eyes he was not
Probably
happy
going to go for
about
the
it.
hypnosis again, getting
Outspeed
the
again.
conflict once again, but are we going to land it this time?
Oh, but it misses.
Ooh. And
Rolling
now
the
it's
dice.
Ben's turn for that hypnosis. Are we going to...
For the
Complete
third turn in a
neutral
row, we have two Gengars staring each other down. Nothing lost but some PP.
Yeah, they both got a little
This
too
time
lost in
Benz
one
gets the
time
outspeed,
hypnosis each
and
other.
will it hit? And it does. But will
Finally,
Hootie's
Ben
wake
was able to
up?
take it.
And it
Oh
does!
Waking up this time as well.
Oh.
We're just gonna keep going back and
Four
forth here.
turns now. Four turns
Okay,
with nothing
Ben's turn
gained.
with the hypnosis.
It misses.
Missing? Okay,
Now
Gary-
Hootie, hypnosis again.
What's this?
Hypnosis?
And it hit.
Hypnosis!
Now,
Okay, no, wake
because
up.
it moves
Wake up
second,
next turn.
it does
Wake
not
up
have a
next
chance
turn.
to wake up, meaning Hootie will get one free action with Ben unable to change. Finally, a bit of advantage going for the Nightshade. That is guaranteed to be a 3-hit KO.
Yeah, let's see, if we woke up here,
It wakes up.
okay, are we going to play the dance again? Are we going to do our hypnosis dance again? Please start hypnosising each other again.
Let's see.
Now,
Ben
Ben
goes
going for
first,
the
goes for the
hypnosis.
hypnosis. And it gets it. Let's see
Connect
if
with
he
the
wakes
hypnosis.
up.
Are we waking up?
And it stays asleep.
Staying asleep.
So now
Darius' turn
mirrored.
to stay asleep.
Let's see if Ben goes for if he decides to keep this
I
dance
want him to go-
alive.
I want him to go for Nightshade, just so that we're stuck in this perpetual loop
Uh-huh.
of Gengar. I want the Ouroboros of Gengars right here,
Exactly.
right now.
they're staring each other
That's the
down.
thing, you have speed ties in other formats, but with the rental, there's no way for them to choose to train it differently. It's always the
Still
same.
can't move.
Staying
it stays asleep for a
even though
second,
we
even
already
down.
cut speed with the speed tie.
Going for the Thunder Wave is smart because exactly 36 damage, putting it in range of 2 Nightshades. If that had done one less, he'd be in a much worse shape off. But it did exactly the amount he needed.
Finally waking up.
Finally getting the wake up, but
Racing
cannot
it.
act this turn. But he goes for
Going
the
for
Confuse Ray.
Okay. To further make it harder for... He was done with the hypnosis dances. He said, you know what, I'm making this easier for me. Get confused.
Yeah. While Confuse Ray is guaranteed to hit, it's only a 50% chance to stop the action.
Absolutely. So we are very briefly considering swapping Pokemon. Please don't.
Now, this
I
puts
think
the
this is
odds of
funny. Please
Hootie
don't
going
swap it.
first and getting a hypnosis at only 15%. The 50% outspeed, the 50% not to hit himself, and then the 60% to hit confusion.
Going for the hypnosis.
He's confused. It gets through 2 of the 3.
Did we hit?
Oh!
Oh!
2 of the 3 checks, but not the third, and that is a
Too many
Nightshade
coin
going
flips,
on.
sadly.
That's
And
a
they are
short
going to
hit.
land a Nightshade. Now,
The
let's
Problem
see.
is,
battle
if,
rages on.
if Ben's Gengar outspeeds, it also can now KO of Nightshade.
So Darius might even be considering switching here.
It does go for the switch. That gets rid of Gengar's
Yeah, we're done
confusion,
with the
keeps
Gengar
it for later,
mod
lets
game.
somebody else
It's
to
a
sweep.
Moltres.
And you're almost guaranteed that Gengar is going for Nightshade here, so you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about something like a Hypnosis on the switch.
A decent hit.
Now, one
Will
interesting
this
thing here is
Pokemon
Substitute
not
does block
change
all
the
status
flow
moves
of
in
battle?
both Confuse Ray and Hypnosis, but I believe Gengar outspeeds here, correct?
Yes.
I'm not
Gengar
positive.
has a very good speed stat. It should be outspeeding, and it does have Thunderbolt.
And it does
What
have
now?
Thunderbolt too to just be a KO.
And let's see.
But when Moltres is high special, it is able to live.
But that is
Fire
a decent
Blast,
chunk. No one
not
wants to do
guaranteed to
that.
hit.
Going for the Fire Blast. Do we?
And it does, and it
Connect
gets the
and burn. So this Gengar is going to be taken out this turn through the
But
ice.
you only take residual damage like burn after you move in
Oh.
Stadium,
See, I
meaning he
forgot
has
about
to
that.
allow Moltres to move before it goes down.
Now-
The other thing, burn should do enough. It does 1/16, so that is enough to KO.
But now we have to.
But with Gengar outspeeding,
yeah, we might be switching into Exeggutor here to try and eat whatever is
yeah,
gonna
can
take
get
it.
the guaranteed KO on Gengar. We could even see Gengar swap here, keeping
Right.
its speed stat so it can go for a fast hypnosis on something
Okay, we are
A lot
going
of
to
different
Exeggutor
options.
to
Let's see if it
just
goes for the
eat up
hypnosis as
whatever
it goes
goes
down.
for.
No, but it's just a
What
solid
is
Nightshade,
Nightshade?
solid damage. That's fair.
Yeah, if we're going to lose the Gengar at some point, might as well be while chunking Exeggutor.
I was wrong about the percentage burn does.
Right.
It's just enough not to KO. That is a huge swing.
That is a
Gengar now definitely outspeeds
amazing
Exeggutor.
job for Gengar.
Go
Gengar
for any
could-
move that it wishes for, but it will. Now we know for sure it will go down this turn.
Yeah.
What's next?
So then, honestly,
More solid damage. Exeggutor is so bulky, so having
Yeah.
this reliable damage to it is very strong. And then it goes down to
and there's no real setup move that Ben could go for here.
The interesting thing is, if that Gengar had moved before one of the legendary birds with substitute,
What Pokemon
potentially could have gotten a
will be
substitute.
fighting
No, actually,
No.
I think in Gen
'Cause
1
it
the
was
turn just ends if the
Yeah.
Pokemon faints. And like later gens where it still would move.
There wasn't really much else that the Exeggutor could do since the Gengar was just going to leave. It would have just been a waste of PP at that point.
We're looking at a 5v5 now.
Right.
Both people are very much in this game.
Darius, Ben realizing, well, hey, I took out the Persian earlier. I don't need to worry too much about keeping this Gengar alive. Now with the Electabuzz, probably going to go for the Thunder Wave into the Exeggutor to try and keep it
Yeah,
down.
both have access to paralysis. With the high specials, I'm not sure if either can KO the other, but let's see if Mega Drain would be able to take it if that's what
What'll it do?
chooses to
I
do.
honestly think it's possible with just how chunk these Pokemon.
Now it might not even move in the first place.
Going for the
Egg Bomb, going for the physical move.
completely ignoring the special stat, saying, let me try and go for the physical stat here.
Let's see, and that is
And
enough
taking
to
out the
take it
Electabuzz.
Is it down and out?
Real big job there for
Which
the Exeggutor.
Pokemon is coming out? The commands are issued. Oh, it's Jake!
And going into the Jinx, Jinx having a
Fireworks
massive
are
speed stat.
flying.
Massive speed and
Really
massive
good
special attack. Great matchup into Exeggutor
Yeah.
here with the Ice Punch.
Yeah, maybe forcing Darius into a switch here. So
That's
let's
another
see.
Pokemon that has the ability to spread sweep as
Yeah.
well.
So there's not too many safe options
No.
for Darius'
And again,
Bearing
even
each other
Moltres
down.
does take super effective damage from Ice Punch.
Yeah, the
Allowing
Rose
Exeggutor to go down here, that's fair.
I might just have to hand it over.
In Gen 1, Freeze does not unthaw unless the
No.
Pokemon is hit by
The
a
next
fire move or uses
Pokemon
one
is
itself.
See, that's one of the things
Crap.
where I thought that was patched in
They
Stadium.
strike
No,
fighting
it is
Pokemon.
still. So every time you let that Jinx hit, even if you could take the attack well, that's a 10% chance to just go down.
Lose a Pokemon right
The
there.
Pokemon are
Not
entirely
just what you're saying,
different
but I
types.
think Jinx still has the speed advantage here. That's right, yeah.
Savage attack.
You can just take out that Moltres.
As
Looks
we
like
said,
a
the
bad
Jinx has a very
Pokemon
beautiful
show.
dress that is not affecting her
Wow.
ability to move at all.
Going down. That
Let's
defeat
see.
We have left
means
is
the
Zapdos and
Pokemon
Kadabra.
won.
And the Gengar, I believe, I think
Gengar
has a
as
little
well,
bit of
but
health
that's
left.
very chipped.
But yeah, Zapdos is weak
Here's
to
the
it.
Pokemon.
Gengar, I'm not sure about the speed
This
interaction
is a
here, to be
fight
honest.
between
Honestly,
two different
I'm not
types
sure.
of Pokemon.
Potentially trying to go for a hypnosis. That's
Yeah, it might be one of his best chances. This Jinx is really well positioned. It's been preserved well. Especially taking out that Moltres without losing anything in return.
Let's see. The Gengar is faster.
The
and going for
hypnosis,
the
60% this time.
That was a very necessary turn.
Oh,
we are going to miss the hypnosis.
That is huge. That misses massive. Line get off a super effective psychic fist will definitely be enough here.
That was going to be Darius' trump card here. To secure the spot.
Oh, massive momentum
There's
swing.
a distinct difference in the number
Now
of
suddenly it went from being
remaining
anyone's
Pokemon.
game to
Defense.
Ben is in a very well positioned here. Again,
is a
nothing is
versatile
ever secured in Stadium.
Kadabra and Zapdos do still have very high special stats.
Exactly,
But
so they can
still
take a
need
hit,
to
but
deal with this Jinx.
Kadabra's primary attacking move is Psychic, not very effective against the Jinx.
The crowd's excitement is building over this
But
hot
the one
battle.
thing is, Jinx can't hit that hard in return, and you can't keep going for recovers. It's one of the few mons with access to
Watch
recovery.
out.
So sure, Kadabra can stay in the game.
Actually going for a special drop.
Yeah. But again, even if you think you can keep recovering off Jinx, every turn you're missing a freeze, which is just a death sentence.
Now we are
Neither
going to hit
one
the Ice
is
Punch. We're not
leading
getting the
an
freeze,
ace.
thankfully. However,
No freeze this turn.
Darius
But again,
still,
he has this Persian in the back, right? Which I don't believe is status, which
What's
can't
that?
outspeed and just one hit KO Kadabra.
Didn't do
are
much
going to
damage.
second. Once
Let's
again,
see if we get a
still
drop.
No special drop.
No special drop.
There's the
Darius really needs something in his favor, and that's
And
not what he
getting a
wants to
crit.
see.
He
Ooh,
but
live.
just barely surviving.
battle
The thing is, he
continues.
can go for recover, but every chance, since crits are based off speed in Gen 1 in Pokemon Stadium, Jinx has a very high crit ratio, so you
They are
can't
gonna
just
go
keep
for the
recovering.
recover.
He is going for the
At this
recover,
point.
but again, every turn he does that, he's risking a freeze, he's risking a crit. Either one could be huge. And that's
we get the
it.
freeze.
There's the freeze.
This
No way to
Kadabra is
unfreeze.
effectively out of the match as of right
Absolutely.
now. All we have left at this point is the
Yeah, if you
Zapdos.
give Jinx too many free turns, that will happen.
We are
It stays
everyone
frozen.
got this frozen block of ice. And
The
Jinx
ice
is
punch
just
should be
trying to
enough.
attack in.
We may be in a turn. We may be in a turn where situation where Darius needs the 1 out of 65,000 chance to
There's
happen.
a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon.
A Zapdos left. Now I do honestly forget Zapdos' speed stat here.
Yeah, it's strong, but with it having lower DVs as a legendary
The
Pokemon, that's
Pokemon
another way they
are
balance. They gave
entirely
less
different
DVs,
types.
basically the equivalent of IVs and stat experience to the legendaries. Jinx, who have a super effective attack, although almost certainly goes down to whatever Thunderbolt has. I'll say it. If Hootie pulls this around and wins, I will wear my Mirror B cosplay to Worlds. I will compete in a Mirror B cosplay if Hootie can take this game.
What's
The
this?
ice punch, super effective, but again, amazing.
Enough to
special
live it.
stat for the
No
Zapdos.
freeze. That means the
Zapdos
Zapdos
is
is trying to make it through this turn. If there's any chance this Thunderbolt makes a hit, it's very far behind, and it does not get the KO.
The crowd's
With the
excitement
ranges,
is
another
building
Ice
over
Punch
this hot
should be
battle.
enough to take it out, and that should seal the game in Ben's favor. Making Ben has beaten Darius both in both of their matchups. Oh, a critical hit just to rub it
Disrespectful
in.
crit for no reason.
Well played by both players, a great match.
And there goes the battle.
Oh. I believe does that leave us with finals next? Was that
I believe
semifinals?
so.
Still a very solid performance from Hootie.
goodness.
Getting in the loser bracket, making it all the way to losers finals.
Losers finals, still amazing spot to land,
Exactly.
but you don't want to lose
No,
there.
no, of course.
It's
If
one
you
of
made it
those
that
where-
far, you want to make
Yeah.
it all the way
If
through.
you're making it that far, it's like, okay, I want to make it here, but
Yeah.
sadly wasn't enough.
Oh, definitely an exciting match, and I'm very
Yeah.
excited. Do we know who's in the finals now? Well, we know one of them should be Ben.
Mo, do we know who's the finals in the direct? Tony and Ben, so this is a grand.
It's a rematch, yeah, and this is finals.
Okay,
Oh, so this is a
grand.
rematch.
All right.
And Tony has to lose twice. So if
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, considering this was double elimination, should Tony win, that would technically put. Should Ben win, that would technically put Tony in losers bracket. So once again, it would be a grand finals reset.
Oh, wow. So, this could be the finals, or it could be one match.
Yes.
And you said again, these players that fought before. Is
Yes,
this who
they-
knocked
they
Ben
fought
into
just
losers
earlier.
bracket initially? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Wow. So another rematch, another
So-
known matchup.
Rough spot for Ben to be in.
Yeah. But he's pulled it off. I mean, he's beaten me. You know, he didn't beat me, but he's beaten Hootie.
Exactly.
You've seen him beat a number of
By
players.
extension, might have beaten you.
And let's see, this is exciting. Well, both of them are guaranteed prize money of this,
Yes.
between the $100 and the
Absolutely.
$50. But still, the first place are excellent looking trophies just over there on the line.
Those
Somebody-
trophies are gorgeous.
Excuse me, sorry.
you're
Sorry,
completely
viewers
fine.
at home. As somebody who won one of those trophies earlier, I can attest how great they are.
So let's see, as we're getting ready, I personally am very excited for finals here. Getting the wig back on, couldn't work it with the headset.
I should have made a bet with Hootie. I should have made Hootie put this wig on if he lost. That's what we should have put on the line. This was an exciting match. It's also interesting. Well, the Gem State Medium meta is something that's been researched. I'm sure it's not something that people have dedicated a lot of time to. I know I did a little research last night.
I did a little bit.
I know Ben seems to have some experience. We were chatting beforehand. Yeah. So there's definitely a knowledge gap. But also with that, I think we've seen a lot of people figuring out the flow of things as these matches have been going on. And having played through so many matches here, I think both players are now at the peak of their performance all day. They know how their mons work. They know how the mechanics work. So I'm ready to see some more high-level gameplay.
The other wants to go for as well.
Exactly. Oh, and while Ben is running a very standard team, our undefeated person has some definitely more out there picks. I haven't seen a Nidoqueen, a Clefable, or a Dugong all day.
We watched this earlier on stream, and the Nidoqueen was putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
It worked as an immediate check for any Gengar switch-ins. It worked as a really good, just overall offensive wall.
If I'm not, is this the person who knocked me out? I can't quite see. Unfortunately, chat is in the way. But that's fine. I'd rather have all our lovely viewers at home talking in chat.
A little more important than knowing immediately, but we'll be able to see the player cam when we do swap over.
As I did fight a Nidoqueen earlier.
Are they stuffing? Oh, are they?
Just getting everything set.
Yeah.
This is definitely an interesting matchup. And like we said, with the limited familiarity, well, we have some. I know Ben has some.
Right.
Most of our research has focused on the meta picks.
Right. Okay. So we are going to take a quick 5-minute.
All right.
Oh my God. We have a jumper. We are going to be taking a quick 5-minute break here. We are going to have an ad read from one of our sponsors here from Player One Services, who are amazing TCG. They are opening up to doing some more VGC as well.
Yes.
So they are your perfect spot for all your Pokemon needs. They have singles, they have packs, elite trainer boxes. So if you are a big TCG player like I am, and you don't feel like opening all these packs for a secret art, you could just buy out the single.
Yeah.
They'll happily have it, and if not, they'll probably be able to find it for you.
Yeah.
So,
and I can say I can personally vouch for Player One. They host VGC tournaments, one of my favorite venues. I've bought in cards there. I've turned in cards there. I've gotten great rates. I've brought in some boxes and stuff like that. Some merch I got from regionals. Great store, and also something that wasn't even mentioned. Incredible Pokemon themed decor.
Okay.
The entire store is Pokemon themed. They have a wall with all these Pokemon fuse beads. They have some cool displays. I love Player One. They're a great venue, a great host, and I was so happy to see they were sponsoring this event today.
absolutely. So, we'll be back with you in about 5 minutes, but don't go anywhere.
Yeah, stay right here. We'll be right back.
All right, later.
We are very lucky to be able to be here in Kensington. We just have an excellent location that we really enjoy, and being able to be specifically near like Antique Row and a lot of the historic sections of Kensington is a great honor, and we do consider a lot of the oldest Pokemon cards to be on their way to being antiques too. A lot of them are a few decades old already. My name is Ben DeGuire, and I'm co-owner of Player One Services here in Kensington, Maryland. Player One Services is a card store and grading center for Pokemon cards where people can come and play, trade, grade their cards, buy and sell cards, and in general just enjoy Pokemon.
Player One Services is like the place that I dreamed about when I was a kid. And we just wanted to make that place for kids today so that they have somewhere to come and commune with each other and enjoy passion together. Hi, my name is Chelsea Rose, and I'm the co-owner and lead owner here at Player One Services. Honestly, it started with Pokemon Go. I was super into the game. Ben was super into the game too. We played a lot in Hawaii, and it morphed into like a great community that we were a part of, being part of like the video game community. And then we branched out into cards when we found Ben's box of cards from when he was a kid.
Originally, Rose and I made a joke. We thought it would be really interesting if we could one day pay for rent with Pokemon cards. Originally, we just liked to collect them, but then within just a couple weeks, through a lot of good strategic planning, we really were paying for rent with Pokemon cards, and the rest is history. Pokemon is the largest intellectual property in the world, and it spans movies, TV shows, the card game, video games, and more. Fun universe of characters and adventures that people have gone on for the last 3 decades. Learning the game is very, very easy, but mastering it is the hard part. It's a very high skill cap, and just like chess or anything else that you could play. It's definitely easy to get into, but to master it and to be at the highest levels of it is very, very hard. And you can continue to refine and master your craft as you play with different play styles and different decks. For collecting, I would say that it is a vast ocean that you can step into, and most people, I would say, to just stay tailored to the things that you like the most, whether it's collecting every version of your favorite Pokemon, collecting every card from a specific set that had a lot of significance to you, or like me, try to collect them all. We are a very tight-knit community of players, and the people that we serve are ultimately going to be the kids that are going to be playing the game years into the future. And so we want to be very family-oriented, and we want people to have a very good time while they're here.
Whether you know anything about Pokemon and you're interested in it, or you just saw Snorlax in the window, please come in. We want to tell you more about it. I want you to get excited about it because I'm excited about it for you. If you have cards, bring them in. I want to make sure they're protected. I want to continue to expand this community. I want to continue to give people a place to come so that they can express themselves with the card games and even like the cartoons or the shows. I want to make a safe space for kids to come in and love this hobby. I don't want people to stop caring about something they love.
One of the best ways to contact us is at player1services, all spelled out, at gmail.com, or directly on our website, player1services.com.
And we're back with Mirror B Disassembled, our modern art piece.
Oh, so let me give him a little better of a
With
shot.
a few of our
there.
other competitors, yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I think we're all set, yeah?
Some screenshots, yeah, and we're all ready.
Cool.
And soon we'll be hopping into finals. With,
Okay.
with someone we just saw featured in Losers Finals right here, Hootie.
Hello.
How was it like? Anything you'd like to say before we hop into finals here? Anything you've learned from both of your experiences competing today?
All I want to say is good luck to both final trainers in the finals.
All
Both
right,
trainers in the finals.
and we're getting started, so let's hop right into it.
We're right into
Going
it.
the executor lead,
Cool.
a solid lead because, like we were saying earlier, so few things want to take a stun spore. Just having a consistent way to spread
Yeah.
paralysis, even on electric types like Jolteon.
Para is huge. Okay, and something that I'm seeing interesting already from the teams, no Persian this time. We've been seeing so much Persian today.
Is that neither trainer is a Persian, or?
So I don't see anyone on Darius' side at least. So at least one person. Ben does
I
still
think
have
we
the
have
Persian,
not
though.
updated the names. Yes, there we go.
Oh,
So
I'm
that's
sorry,
Tony's side. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, no Persian on Tony's side. Tony's
fact,
side.
yeah.
Ben still has one.
We were talking about Persian is considered the best Mon, but once again, Tony has a few oddball picks. I think he's the only person to have a few of these choices in the entire tournament, and he's gone undefeated with them.
Yes. What's very anti-meta. Persian is like a very reliable late game
Yeah.
sweeper. You have to maneuver around certain picks, but it's not by any means an auto include.
3 hits on that 4-time super
Oh,
effective move, but Executor can still take it and get the stun spore off. Jolteon's main advantage is just how fast it is, tied for the second fastest Mon in the format, so getting paralyzed is a huge nerf to it.
Yeah, and you know, as a fast para spreader, a fast electric attacker, now suddenly it just doesn't have the bulk to be slow.
No.
Is the problem. So
Yeah.
being paralyzed is a big drawback for that. But it already got a gigantic chunk off of Executor,
Yeah.
and that's a big chunk of what Jolteon wants to do.
And with
so-
Executor being a slower Mon, it's going to be hard for it to find an opportunity to get a move off again later.
Yeah. Another pit missile going to come in on the switch. Not going to do a whole lot of damage here, and Electabuzz
Just
gets
chips,
the swap
especially
in.
just with 2 hits.
The crit even not mattering all that much.
No.
Whoa.
I didn't even notice that was a crit.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like one, right? Yeah, and so now Electabuzz is in a spot where like Jolteon really doesn't want to stay in. It's probably it's solidly losing the 1v1. But like switching out, then you can lose. You have to try to something else get paralyzed too.
Critical hit psychic, but even a critical hit isn't enough for a 2-hit KO without that drop.
Yeah.
Which- oh, the full paralysis.
Oh no! This is a rough start for Tony here, but by no means unrecoverable to switch out.
And even if everything goes horrible, Tony would have to lose twice in order to lose the title because he is undefeated and Ben is coming out from losers.
This is true. This is true. You do get that little bit of buffer, a little. You know, you can kind of play it a little relaxed here.
And with that, you can even go for riskier
Look
plays.
at these crits.
Another crit, and Electabuzz isn't that fast. It doesn't have a particularly high crit ratio,
Yeah,
like a Persian or a Kadabra.
I know crits are like more likely in these earlier gens because of the speed crit relationship, but like this is a lot even for that. And it crit list. Oh my goodness.
We're seeing Tri-Attack. Could get any status here. Another crit.
Oh my. What is this game right now?
I was shocked. Again, as someone with the off-meta picture not familiar with the calcs, even a crit, I would not have expected to do nearly that much. Almost enough to just take it out.
Yeah, like
And the Thunder Punch.
1 HP. What is
On the 1 HP, firing back with a Tri-Attack. And that'll certainly be enough to take it.
As the stadium announcer once said, hung on by the skin of its teeth.
Yes. It is tough doing commentary when we know both of us are being beat out by the voice of the man right there.
This is the original commentary. I can make an argument for commentary for esports in general being inspired by the Pokemon Stadium commentary.
Oh yeah.
I can do citations. I'll make a whole research paper. Here's the Persian coming in. Here we go. So I think we did see Tony with the Gengar in the back. So there is the switch in for the slash. Oh, the Bubble Beam though. Looking
Going
for
for the
speed.
Bubble Beam.
I guess you automatically get the KO anyways.
You're
Right?
gonna get the KO anyway. It covers for a switch into a Gengar or something.
Exactly. And Ben says, you know what, that's fine. This Clefairy has gotten what it's going to get. We're going to let it go.
Clefable put in much more work than I could have imagined.
I mean, when every Tri-Attack crits, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, all you have to do to be a good Mon. Especially
Right.
in later gens, crit do 1.5 damage, but in Gen 1, they still do double damage.
Double damage. Although a fun fact about crit in Gen 1, it ignores all stat boosts, including positive ones. So if you Sword Stance and then crit, you lose your Sword Stance.
Although the only setup move in Rentals is Focus Energy, which luckily has been patched in this game, because in vanilla red and blue, it actually lowers your critical hit ratio.
Yeah, there is actually Sword Dance on a couple mons and rentals. It's not always good. None of them are good.
Ooh, the attack drop is actually does not make a difference because Persian will always crit. Well, 99% of the
Yeah,
time.
so it doesn't. Oh man. But if you get that very unlucky,
That slash did
not
just
crit.
under half, I believe. Even though it looks like 88 would be half of 166, it's not. Yes, so Dugong is able to live and get a second attack off here. Going for the Surf. Higher base power of an Aurora Beam.
I've been talking Persian up all day, and we finally see it in, and it's like you can see the damage it does. You can see the threat from this
I wonder
mon.
if two Surfs would have been enough to take it, but Aurora Beam and the Surf just did not quite let it live on 12.
Yeah.
Even a Persian on 12 HP with such high speed is still quite a threat.
Because it's going to more than likely KO this Dugong, and then it's going to take another massive chunk out of something else as
Yeah,
well.
it could even be switched out for later. We'll see what he goes for. Interestingly, he switches out the Persian, doesn't go for the kill on the Dugong. This is not the quick claw Dugong that terrorized VGC for a little bit earlier.
Goodness.
It's a double switch, preserving the slow Dugong for later and taking the...
Going to the Gengar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. This is a
Gengar was
pretty...
a safe switch, and that was a bold prediction with Persian, but it worked out well for him.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta take a risk like that to get that favorable position. Now the Nightshade going to be enough to KO. Ben picking up another mon. Wow. Yeah, man, it's crazy to see Nightshade. I'm so used to like watching like modern VGC or modern like Snowmon, and just seeing like Nightshade be a move that gets clicked is crazy. But in this format, it's pretty good.
Yeah, Gengar's only ghost move that doesn't deal set damage is Lick, which is both 20 base power and physical in this game, pre-physical special split.
But why is Ghost type physical? It never made sense to me. Never met a physical Ghost.
The trainer's changing Pokemon.
All right, Kadabra is going to threaten the Gengar out. That's kind of a swap you just have to make. Gonna just sack the Dugong here.
Yeah, it makes sense. Dugong's slow. It's done well.
Yeah, it has done its
Not much
job.
left to take a Psychic.
Yep.
Now, Kadabra's traditional enemy is Persian, which can outspeed a one-hit KO at the slash, but without the Persian on Tony's team here, it's interesting to see what he chooses to use as a response.
The Jolteon said, Pin Missile is a big threat. It's not a one-hit KO, I think, unless it hits like a max roll.
And it does outspeed.
But
Again,
it
another
does,
high variance move in a high variance game.
Yeah, but it won't outspeed because of the para, though, unfortunately.
Ben's name blocking it. Oh, but it does take a Psychic. Let's see if it can move.
The full para, no! Not like this!
Second climb. Jolteon's been full para. That is huge.
Tragic.
Oh, man.
Go swap it right back out.
Low HP and paralyzed, but still keeping it from
I do have to wonder if you don't just sack it there, though. I mean, is it really going to get to click anything from here?
But I guess
Slowbro
Slowbro's not going to take much from Psychic anyway, so just being able to have a safe switch later in
Yeah.
battle could be valuable.
You
If it
do
doesn't
risk
get
the
a
10% special drop.
and it does not happen.
We're on the same brain cell with that right away. Look at that. Yeah, and so like this matchup, actually, Slowbro does tend to be kind of a check for Kadabra.
Yeah.
Not as reliably because you are trading Psychics, and so the game can be very much decided by a special drop on either side. But
Kadabra does have Recover, so if it's getting chipped without a drop, it can bring it back up. But every turn
Yeah.
you're missing a crit, you're just going to drop.
oh my goodness, another
on
crit.
Kadabra's side.
How many crits has this been so far this game? An unreal amount.
Insane amount.
The Surf coming in instead.
That does hit specially.
Yeah.
The Kadabra could easily recover that off.
Let's see.
A Psychic.
What now?
That might just after the crit from last time. I think that's going to be enough to. Oh
Now
no!
it can
God.
take it.
This mod is so tanky. Slowbro can
Shouldn't
just.
take,
eat
one
these
more should
Surf
get it, but
Psychics
another
out.
Surfer for second time. Solid damage on Kadabra. If Kadabra goes for a Recover, it could lose any progress. But if it goes for a Recover and Slowbro gets the crit, however, Slowbro has one of the slowest crit rates in the game of any fully evolved Pokemon because it is based off speed in Generation 1.
Right, and true to the name, not a fast Pokemon. Another
And
crit.
there's the crit on Kadabra's side. Finishing off Slowbro, who didn't even seem to realize it got knocked out for a few seconds there.
Yeah. It takes time. Slowbro, it takes him a minute to realize. You know, he's like, oh, am I dead? I'm dead. Okay, got it.
And there's Gengar.
Yeah. I mean, Gengar is not what you want to have in here, but Ben is just running out of checks for
The chip on
Kadabra.
Kadabra, his Thunderbolt should be able to take it out.
The crit.
There's the
We're like 8, 9 maybe crits this game? I've lost count, but it's
Quite a
insane.
few.
Good.
Almost seems like there's been more of a dot. Which, when counting Persian, perhaps there has been more of a dot.
Yeah. Speaking of Persian, with Persian at 12 HP, This match is a lot more even than it looks right now. This could still go either direction. We got the Gengar Ditto though.
Oh, we saw this last match. Both are speed tied. Both have Confuse Ray and Hypnosis. This is an incredibly volatile matchup.
If it's me, I'm clicking sleep. I'm clicking Hypnosis.
Let's see. The critical hit. That's huge. However, although that seems big, that actually didn't do as much as you said because Nightshade, it's still 2 more Nightshades to KO.
Right. So you're still 2 out.
Consistently.
Still 2 Thunderbolts out as well. So there's still at least 2 turns of this Gengar left to go. Again, a Hypnosis if we get desperate.
Who goes for Hypnosis?
Could still change
but one
this.
switching out, not risking the other high variance play.
I was almost wondering if it was the Jolteon
It's the
switch
Thunder.
in.
Oh, it's the Nightshade for the solid damage.
Yep. Going with
Both
something
Nidoqueen
reliable.
and Jolteon will both eat that Thunderbolt.
Yes. Yep. That is a. If that was Thunderbolt there, then you were just.
What is? I actually, again, I'm not familiar. I couldn't see in time. Do you know Nidoqueen's ground move? Is it Dig or is it Earthquake?
No, it is Earthquake.
Oh no.
Nidoqueen and Nidoking actually got good moves, even though it Stage 3 evolutions, which is kind of crazy.
Gengar is switching out. With Persian.
Just for the safe switch, I imagine.
Yep.
There's the
Persian
EQ.
goes down. The thing is, with Jolteon, with not much wants to take an Earthquake. Let's see, Executor would have been able to respond well, but with that down,
right.
gone.
That's the thing about EQ in Gen 1. There's just not a lot that can really tank an EQ and be comfortable.
2 Mons remaining. And suddenly, well, it looked like Tony was pressing his, Ben was pressing his advantage for a while. That Jinx, though, that Ice Punch was incredibly hard on Nidoqueen.
And the safe switch there crucial because that way you're not switching into the EQ. You are being able to outspeed. This is going to force Ben to switch out. Where do we go into here, though? How do we answer the Jinx from this position? It's going to be the Gengar.
Gengar does have Ice Special, but so does Jinx. Neither of them can do too much to each other, and both have access to a sleep move. Oh, but it gets the Psychic.
Yeah.
That's super effective. That's big damage on Gengar.
I'm going to be honest, I can't remember who outspeeds here. I think it's Jinx, but I'm not sure.
Me neither.
It is Gengar.
So the Hypnosis was an option, too, to fish for that. Oh, a crit.
Oh, my, another one.
Probably won't take out, no, but Jinx is now very low.
The problem is, though, is what actually gets to hit Jinx after
What
this
can
point?
outspeed it? What can take it down?
I don't think there's anything left. I think Jinx just clicked Psychic until
No, we
the
saw in
end.
the last game how Jinx was able to clean up, and we might be about to see the same thing here.
Yeah. It's all come down to this. Tony's taking a second to think. Is there an out? Is there a way to make this happen?
Jolteon and the Nidoqueen, it's looking tough.
The Nidoqueen almost certainly dies to a Psychic.
Man, I wonder if you could have switched in the Jolteon to sack it to the Psychic, giving you a cleaner switch to Gengar, but it's tough.
Oh, that might have been the play, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you're in it, too, and figuring everything out. That is the Psychic. This probably will kill, but I can't say for certain. Let's find out.
I'm almost certain it does.
And it does.
Yes.
That should seal it in favor of Jinx. And that will bring us to another game.
Yeah.
To a bracket reset.
We get one more, folks.
Yeah.
One more game.
There's nothing left in reserve.
We're going to watch Jolteon put one last valiant effort in first.
But without a multiple 1 out of 65,000, I think this game is in Jinx's favor.
Yeah. I love that. That is my favorite fun fact about Stadium. The shiny Gen 1 miss, I like to refer to it as.
Rarer than a shiny.
I know. The only thing in the entire Pokemon series with the same odds, the same ridiculously unlikely odds, is trying to get Mirage Island to appear with only one Pokemon in your party.
That's crazy.
But like, who does that, honestly, you know?
And so we're going back into it. Both trainers have learned a little bit about the other playstyle. Probably learned about some ranges, too, especially on some of those weirder Pokemon like Nidoqueen and stuff like that. Now you have a better idea of their role and what they're going to try to do in the team.
Right. So, and that's something we haven't seen a lot today, because these have all been best of ones.
Yeah.
So nobody's played the same person twice. There hasn't been a chance for there to really be adaptation. So for the first time today, we're seeing adaptation on the fly.
Between these two matches, they're actually 1-1. So this is basically the equivalent of Game 3.
Oh, wow!
And a best-of-3 set between these two players. So both of them have the opportunity to beat it. Both have figured out a way with their team. But let's see who gets it. Who gets the strategy? And with Stadium Rentals, who gets the luck? Who's going to take it here?
That's so hype. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're having effectively a Game 3.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool. Yeah, and so there's been so much time now. Like, experimentation on both sides, different lines being explored. Game 3 is going to be the culmination of all that. All
Yeah,
that
I
knowledge
am.
in one
This
place.
is a very exciting finals. Both strong players. Oh, I'm very excited to see how this finishes up.
Yeah. I love this metagame, by the way.
And it's a fun metagame, and also the way it makes you wait to see if a move hits after the animation. It keeps us invested. And the amazing animations. I'm seeing some people in chat talking about how great the animations are.
Yeah.
Stadium is an incredibly hype game to watch, to play, and to commentate. I've had a great time here.
I really want a new stadium.
Yeah.
I would love a new stadium game. Pokemon Company, take my money, please.
Yeah.
Like, I'll buy it.
Please.
I think we're set, yeah. We're all good.
The
All right, yeah, we're going into it.
Hopping right into our finals.
This one's
Ooh,
for all the
Electabuzz on
bacon.
Nidoqueen and that. But the thing is, Electabuzz has access to Psychic.
Yeah.
Stab, but both of these mons have a super effective move against each other.
I think the Nidoqueen wins, though. 'Cause
Yeah, I think
if
Nidoqueen
you-
could probably live a Psychic, and Earthquake can probably get the KO.
Right. I'll be honest, though, I'm not sure I've seen that count. I don't
Yeah.
think I've seen that one yet, so... we'll
Neither
have
of
to
these
see.
mons are the most commonly used.
I'm not sure the players are, at the very least, it seems like Tony's not 100% sure either, because
Yeah.
you can see the thinking about the switch out, potentially,
Yeah.
thinking about just going for the
They're
EQ.
staring each other down.
They are staring each other down.
Yeah. Yeah, just taking his time. Like,
And especially in finals, there's no room for error, no more bracket resets. Whoever wins this gets the trophy and the $100.
and there's no turn timer. There is no timer to run out of that you can lose a game on. So
They can waste as much of the viewers at home time as they wanted to.
yeah. So you know, if you're upset about that, it's not our fault. You can't get mad at us. Yeah.
Executor, and that is a safe. Not wanting to risk who's faster, not wanting to risk who can take what. Executor is the best switch in for that.
Yes, and this psychic. Wait, that's right.
And Executor doesn't get Psychic.
But the Mega Drain still will do some pretty significant damage.
Toxic on a bulky Pokemon like Executor, although Toxic isn't as strong in Gen 1, it's still, getting
Stun Spore in the trade.
Isn't the fastest mon anyway, but still.
Yeah, this is not a
giving it
terrible
chance to
trade.
move. Yeah. And that's what Executor is so good at, eating hits and just running fast. Can even potentially go for a second Stun Spore here.
It's really hard to call who the winner is in that status trade. Like, I don't think we'll know until 20 turns from now.
Funny thing is, some of you may know there's a glitch when a mon is both Toxic and Leech Seed, but it also doubles the Leech Seed damage. But that's only when they're on the same mon. It does not apply when they're on different mons.
Right.
Just Earthquake. That's actually pretty significant chip, especially when the Toxic is going to add up. Although the Leech Seed helps give it some recovery.
But you are still going to have to eventually switch out, because unlike the Leech Seed is going to be a static amount of healing, that Toxic is going to hit harder and harder every turn. So this is probably a forced switch out or a sack on the Executor.
But the thing is, our Nidoqueen does switch out.
Preserving it for later must be like another threat that Ben wants to keep that in check for.
Another mon that, of course, doesn't like the chance not to move, does not mind being paralyzed.
Doesn't like Mega Drain, though.
Would give a lot of health back to Executor. Oh, that is a ton of healing, even though it's taking more Toxic.
I'm wondering if that was like a call on the Executor switching out, like an attempt at a response switch.
But with between the Toxic and the Mega Drain, I feel like the Executor ended that turn similar to how it started. The Slowbro ended up with a lot of damage.
And now this turn, the Slowbro gets to swing as
You
well.
could do something like swap into a Gengar. The Giga Drain would whiff, and it would take a lot of Toxic damage. But if he reads that, if he goes for the Stun Spore, and your Gengar is paralyzed, suddenly we saw how important the Gengar can be in the last matchup. That could be a huge swing.
Yes, that Gengar is such a crucial piece in this metagame. Like, you really do have to preserve it. It answers so many important threats. It's going to be the Kadabra coming out instead. Switching in the Kadabra is kind of risky. It's not usually something you want to switch in an unsafe way. And if this special drop hits, it could be a problem.
It hits. And a special stays the same, only 20 damage. Again, with Kadabra is one of the only mons with access to recover. It does not matter getting chipped down like this. It is okay with getting chipped.
Yeah, it does not mind getting chipped. The only thing Kadabra is really afraid of is those threats that outspeed it. Oh, the special drop in return, though,
the special
Kadabra.
drop in return on Slowbro. Going for the snipe, no longer hit as hard. -1.
Yeah.
Nothing Kadabra can't recover off if it so chooses.
And now Kadabra has a really, really solid field position here.
Not much to switch into that, but let's see what ends up switching in.
Oh, it's
Clefable, okay.
We saw it put in work last time, and with Kadabra's paper-thin defense, Tri-Attack can probably do quite a lot.
Especially if it crits, like
All
every
comes down to if
Tri-Attack
it can
last
live
game.
2 Psychics, and it can.
How will this swap
Yeah,
affect
Clefable,
the
also a
outcome?
Pokemon with a very high special stat, relatively speaking, can take a lot of these hits, can switch in on these
And it's funny to
heavier
see
special
Clefable put in
attackers.
work here. When yesterday in VGC, it's pre-evolution Clefairy.
Clefairy.
Normally it's stadium rentals
They're
with the
staring
pre-evolutions
each other
being put in,
down.
but in VGC, Clefairy has quite a niche with the Friend Guard ability, so funny to see both members of the evolution line coming out here.
Turns out Friend Guard and Eviolite are really, really
Issued
good.
an order.
The thing is, although it can take a Psychic, it can't take a crit Psychic, and Kadabra has a very high crit ratio.
Yes, so you are. But it is going to be Kadabra switching out instead. The Electabuzz coming back in. Electabuzz can, for the most part, take whatever Clefairy's going to throw out, start threatening to spread more paralysis. Might even just win the 1v1 if we're just going to swing back and forth.
How will the swap Pokemon fight? In
Let's see. The Tri-Attack crit will KO here, but a normal Tri-Attack will not. Psychic, if it can eat a Kadabra Psychic, it certainly can eat. It might even live a crit here. It can.
Yeah.
It needs at least 2 more to take the KO.
I'm guessing that fishing for the special drop is kind of what we're looking for here. That's the idea.
So 1 more Tri-Attack will kill and 1 more Psychic will not. But Clefable's low speed stat, Clefable takes a little more damage here, will basically be out of commission for the rest of the match.
I am curious as to how much a Thunder Punch does, though.
That's true.
But the risk of the Thunder Punch is that if another the Nidoqueen's still being around.
They're staring
You're
each other
right.
down.
Based off the range, Thunder Punch, Psychic.
Yeah, there could be a reliable. He does lock it in regardless of Thunder Punch.
Let's see. And it lives. Does it get? And it does not get para. The Tri-Attack goes off, and this should take out Electabuzz. And that takes it
That's
down.
gonna do it.
Wow!
Wow.
Down. Which Pokemon is coming out?
Wow. So where do you go from here?
First
Clefable.
loss, but his Gengar's worn down. His Kadabra's at half HP. If it gets a chance, it does have the ability to recover, but there's a lot of dangerous things that wouldn't let it do so.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the weird thing is with even though only one Pokemon's KO'd, it's actually a lot worse than it looks because Kadabra's in danger of getting one shot by a lot of stuff now from that HP.
Gengar, safe switch here.
The
It was at speed
Pokemon
and chaos
are
Nightshade.
entirely different
Yeah.
types.
Fable is a normal type in this generation. Not a very type, but it can be hit with Nightshade.
Right. And so you got to ask, like, do you trade the? I feel like your board state is actually stable enough. You could afford to let the Clefable go here, but we are going to swap instead. Tony wants to preserve it.
Later. I've noticed that a lot about play, that he likes to preserve the launch for later. Tony does.
Right. There is a point there to be made that if that was Thunderbolt attempting to take the KO, that Nidoqueen does get the free switch in, and that's enough momentum, up for grabs. That could be worth it.
Nidoqueen is paralyzed, but Earthquake will do huge damage, and is only switching his Executor, which is toxic, and will also take both the Earthquake chip and the Toxic chip.
Right, and that was exactly the swap we saw earlier in the game when Gengar was here as well, but now that swap doesn't look as appetizing as it did previously.
And Nidoqueen taking chip is big here. We talked about the volatile. It's definitely less in favor. That is the Earthquake.
What now?
Gonna do a decent amount, just like a little chip.
Not a 2-hit KO, but with Toxic it should be.
This swap affect the outcome?
Today I learned that I guess you don't take poison damage when you switch
No,
in.
in Gen 1 you take poison damage after you move, not after the opponent
that's
moves.
right.
This one
Goodness, there's so much about this metagame
And
I've
here,
forgotten.
so that's the nice thing about preserving Clefable, is now that it takes damage, Leaf Seed might not even KO, to be honest. We'll see.
Yeah.
Could leave it on 1 HP, and it's going to take toxic damage. Poisoned?
Oh, wow.
No, because Clefable, I was just saying this and then forgot the next
Right,
turn. Clefable now has a chance to move with that Ice Beam.
Yes.
It should take the KO. And if Amon is KO, Clefable will not take the Leech Seed damage, so Clefable
Right.
gets to stay in again.
Oh my God!
We're talking about Clefable potentially being sacked, but really showing the value and keeping it alive. And Pullout was able to take out Executor.
Yeah,
Oh, that is
and this is why
huge.
they're over there playing finals and I'm
Yes.
behind a microphone.
Yeah.
Like, these are the things I would not have looked for and
yeah.
not have seen. But now this Clefable got to pick up an extra KO to
Yeah.
10 HP and still gets to potentially get some
And going
value.
for Jinx. Jinx does outspeed though, so this, well, Clefable was preserved before, this could be when it goes down.
You have to respect the dedication from Tony to keeping these mons preserved.
We saw the danger of Jinx unchecked, so I think. Alright, and he does let the Clefable go down.
I-
Clefable at 10 HP
Yeah.
put in a ton of work.
For the record, I agree with this sack. But you have to admire the dedication to preserving bonds that Tony even looked to be like, should I switch? I applaud that.
Yeah.
That's the Pokemon spirit right there. These are my friends,
Yeah.
you know? I'm not gonna, unless I absolutely have to, I'm not gonna leave him out there like that. Dugong coming in.
Now,
What a
Dugong
sleeper
can
pick.
tank Jinx's moves quite well. Went down before Jinx came out earlier, but
It has
again,
a...
Dugong horn drill in this game.
I know.
Oh, the sleep move doesn't get off. And it misses. Allowing Dugong to get a hit. Jinx was so critical to the late game last game, so Jinx taking a bunch of damage here. Oh,
Right.
but with its high special, it's not quite a two-hit
The
KO.
intense battle
Yeah,
continues.
I'm almost curious what the calc is, because I know Dugong does get one physical move. I think it's head butt.
Yeah,
I'm kind of
Jinx
curious.
has very paper thin defense, and it does
That
fall.
is
But the thing is, it's slower.
I thought that was the wake up for a second. The game hung for a second. I was like, no way.
Dugong
to make
is,
this a
while you do
one-sided
give him a
fight.
free switch by keeping Dugong in, Dugong isn't really threatened by any of Jinx's moves. So you also have the possibility to stay in, but you're giving him a free switch and attack with whatever
Yeah,
switches in, like
Here's
Bird.
a Pokemon chain.
So you could definitely wait out the sleep turns. Of course, you could also try to swap the Dugong into the back to preserve that for sleep claws,
Yeah.
so something else can't get slapped. And that's what's going to happen.
You're
So
just gonna
now
switch out.
sleep is off the board for
And
the
a slow
foreseeable
row into
future.
the Gengar. Gengar does carry that Thunder Wave.
Will this Pokemon
But it is true
swap
too, as
change
people are
the
pointing out in
flow
the
of
chat,
battle?
Jinx has an extremely high special stat. The fact that Surf did that much to Jinx shows that maybe Dugong, we shouldn't count out its special either.
I must have been. I must be sleeping on this Pokemon. Like it's.
Thunder Wave. Slow's got a high Slowbro, but special, but yeah, not enough to take that.
Yeah, not with that little HP remaining. I like how he looks back at the shell to be like, "Are we? Did that kill
Yeah,
us?"
is that?
Pokemon is coming out.
The shell's
Both
the actual
teams are working
thing.
pretty worn down here.
Yeah, man, it's been back and forth.
Now, one interesting thing about the paralyzed Gengar is it can't be put to
Oh,
sleep.
it's Jolteon.
This is true.
But
Ah,
with Sleep Claws, you don't really have to worry about that.
Different types.
right.
It only has Nightshade, which will be a guaranteed 3-hit KO. It's risking the Thunderbolt Para here as
Watch
well.
out.
Yep, which could be dangerous, but not gonna land this time.
Thunderbolt hits. Also,
What'll
I'm
it
trying
do?
to see.
Nightshade will be a 3-hit KO here.
And Thunderbolt's looking about the
The
same as well, but
crowd's
Jolteon has
excitement
a
is
very high
building
crit
over this
ratio
hot
and the
battle.
outspeed. A crit Thunderbolt here could be a huge momentum swing. Let's
What's
see if it
that?
happens.
Hit
And
the
it does!
What a call! What a call!
Not a 20 or 30% chance, but huge. Keeping your Jolteon with its
The
high
next
special strong
Pokemon
enough, it
is
might be able to
being
take a
pressed.
hit from Jinx now.
Yeah, yeah.
Or Kadabra. Oh, that is a huge momentum swing.
Oh my goodness. So where do you go from here?
Nothing really wants to take a hit. And Jolteon is one of the few mons that outspeeds Persian and can get
Yeah.
solid, meaningful damage off onto it.
Or just throw the potentially para it and
Yeah.
just completely make the mon unusable. Because
Exactly.
Persian goes from great to terrible the second it's paralyzed.
Here's a Pokemon.
That speed is crucial.
And it
How
is
will
with
the
Jinx.
type difference affect
Yeah,
that?
speed tier I'm actually not familiar with.
Come back
Yeah,
to
I
Jolteon
think
has
Jolteon
speed,
does.
It
Yes.
does. The pin missile, very volatile move. How many times will it hit? It's super effective, but with only 2 hits.
This Pokemon
Oh,
Not
no.
quite enough. Even a 3-hit would have got it, but not a 2-hit. That is a
What
very
now?
strong psychic.
But can Jolteon
Ow,
make a return?
it
Oh,
definitely can.
absolutely.
Oh! Is it
If
down
that pin
and
missile
out?
had hit 3 times, if that psychic had crit, we could be in a very different board
That
state here.
defeat means
Sometimes
the
these are the roles that you
Pokemon
gotta take,
won.
but man, okay, so what switches into the Jinx here? I think we're out of stuff. I think
Oh,
Tony's out of stuff that
Gengar.
outspeeds the Jinx. So it's a matter of
This
what
is
can take a
fight
hit.
between two different
then
types
counter
of
the KO.
Pokemon.
You're not afraid of the lovely kiss with Dugong asleep.
Yeah. Oh, the Gengar does outspeed.
The Gengar outspeeds, and with, I believe he's got only 2 mons left after this, one of them being Persian. He has to go for the Mimic strat, meaning Gengar is very well positioned here.
Yes, yes. This is the risk with Persian
Which
of
Pokemon
not
is
of
coming out?
including it on your team is that if you cannot get rid of this
People
Gengar,
winning out. Jolteon had a rough time
Yeah.
last game,
Here's
kept
the
getting
Pokemon
parried, but
trick.
this game fired back with those crits. Didn't
Oh.
quite get the pin missile, but
The Pokemon
you know when it
are
when it picked
entirely
up those
different
crits
types.
earlier though, in those crucial moments, you're
Yeah.
okay with the pin
the
missile
other
only
thing is
getting 2.
recover should always heal 60 HP on Kadabra, while Nightshade can only do
Savage
50.
attack.
Right, right.
Thunderbolt does a crit,
Oh no!
and that'll
That's-
take a knockout. And especially if the Psychic would
There's a
be able to do
difference in the
huge
number of
damage to
reserve
Gengar. He
Pokemon.
went for the crit and he got it.
That's it. It's just down to the
that
Persian
is
now.
huge. This is
it's
really showing. I
Persian.
feel like different Mons in both games have been incredibly impactful. It's showing what happens in a best
There's
of
only
3
one
and how different each
Pokemon
Mon can
against
play depending
3.
on what happens around it.
The battle
Yeah,
has
and
Persian is in
become
rush shape.
one-sided.
It goes for the Mimic. If you get something like
Mimic
Confuse Ray,
Oh.
that is what it needed. With enough confusion luck, it can be back, but it needs to not get parried here.
Okay, this is
That is
all
a
down
range
to
for a
coin
2-hit
flips.
KO. Confusion is a 50% chance to hit itself in this game, and you have to go for it. It's your out. It's your out.
We're officially a gambling stream for the next 5 minutes.
It's in Jody's favor, but it's not guaranteed. The confusion. Will it hit itself?
Let's see.
It's confused,
Oh,
and it does. It does.
But that's
You'll need
one.
a couple of those.
Yeah.
The thing is, even if he hits a Thunderbolt, it is not guaranteed to KO.
No, that's the brutal thing.
That's the
and
Bubble
of course,
Beam, though.
Bubble
It's
Beam
going
is
to take
the only
quite a few
hit.
Bubble Beams.
It's not going to do a lot of damage. The speed
But a
dropping.
speed drop, it was already faster, but
I'm not sure if the speed dropping really does a lot here.
it's confused. It does go off. It hits. Does it live? It
Boom!
lives.
7 HP.
It is not over. The
Neither
problem
one
is
is
the turn
defeated
Gengar
in
is no longer confused. It will always be able to get an attack off. You can't
Oh,
predict it and confuse Ray again.
Right,
it switches
but
off,
the
not
switch
risking it.
out.
He has enough tools to be able to do this safely.
Bubble Beam will technically be super effective here.
Personal special, let's see.
I don't think it'll do a
Super
lot.
effective in
That's
the
a
speed
lot.
drop. It
Wait.
is almost certainly it's in range of another Bubble Beam or a Slash here.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
crazy.
over with Dugong asleep,
Hold on. There's a world, however narrow.
and which Persian
What's
takes
that?
it even at 7 HP.
Hit the weak
Slash hits, guaranteed crit there, 99% I should say.
going down.
Okay, all right.
We're
The second that
waiting for
Gengar
the
comes back
next
in, though, the game
Pokemon.
could just be over.
Yeah.
It is by no means.
Here's a Pokemon.
Yeah, 50%
Oh, no.
chance for Ben to
It's
just
one
live,
Pokemon
right to
against
win,
two
right
now.
here.
The combatants
Tony,
are
I
making
mean,
sparks
for Tony
fly.
to just win right here. See,
What's
it is the
this?
confused right. It's what you gotta do. It's confused.
Does Thunderbolt
It's
happen?
confused. It hits itself again.
Uh-oh, it's
Oh
way.
my gosh.
fireworks are
And now you
flying
could
in this
switch
battle.
out to remove the confusion, but do you keep in hoping it wears off? Yeah, the Bubble Beam goes
I
off.
think you do, because there is a max turns, right?
Person has a very high crit ratio, but that's only doing less than 20 damage. It's confused.
No, that's
And that is game.
Oh, the crit too.
An incredibly noble effort from Ben. He played that endgame perfectly. He played to his out, but it was just he needed just a little too much. Very well played. By the fact they went to a game 3, you know, both of them at least had a game. It showed
like-
both of them were strong players. Both were capable of winning. But in the end, yeah, very well played.
Very, very well played. It just the positioning around
Yeah.
all of those threats there. I mean, using the Dugong to absorb that sleep, I think ended up
Yeah.
being crucial.
Yeah, although it could no longer check Jinx, the fact that he could no longer go for the Gnosis on anything else. Congratulations to Tony.
Was
Fantastically played for both players. Both of them earned their trophy, absolutely.
Yeah, man. That was so sick. Seeing and Clefable doing so much work too. Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
Clefable putting in work. Dugong in part put in work by absorbing sleep, but
Yeah,
still
hey.
we saw its damage up, but it was higher than we expected.
Dugong did his job. His job was to come in, hit Surf a couple of times,
Yeah.
take a little nap. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Mission
Yeah.
accomplished.
Great.
Kadabra.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Please,
And let's
please.
hear from our winner here.
All right.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, come on. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll sign if you want to. Yeah. Here, I'll tell you what. Take those. You can pop down right there.
Congratulations, very well played, going undefeated until finals there, getting the bracket reset. How did you feel about that?
That's pretty wild. I didn't actually expect to make it past the first round. This is really nice.
So have you played Stadium Rentals before? What's your level of experience with the format?
Last time I played at this level, it was elementary school. I played Muscle Maker.
Yeah. So I think some of us did our meta research the night before, so we're like, we had our teams, we had our Persian, but you're able to come in with mons that none of us were expecting, like Dugong there.
I love
and-
Dugong.
So yeah, what led to those picks? Were they favorite Pokemon of yours? Did you like their tools? What led to the Dugong and the Nidoqueen?
So Gen 1's a different meta than like the later gens.
absolutely, yeah.
The specials combined, there's always like a 1% chance to miss something. You're never
Yeah.
guaranteed to hit. And also, specifically in rentals, they do not give good moves to all the Pokemon.
Oh, no.
So, like, I wanted to use Golem and Rhydon because they're really obvious. You use ground and rock, you see everything. But unfortunately, none of them know any rock moves.
Yeah.
So I had to skip on them. So I chose Bulky ones.
Yeah.
So I was going to choose like Nidoqueen.
Yeah.
I wanted Nidoqueen, not Nidoking, because Nidoqueen got more bulk.
Yeah, the stadium metagame is known as more fast-paced and frail, but having the Pokemons gave you the ability to switch out and doing things like preserving that Clefable, which ended up putting in work and being able to take out the Executor, which removed the huge threat even at just 10 HP by staying alive. So that bulk, it really showed how you're able to pilot that team. Yeah, well done. So you haven't played such. Did you play a lot in elementary school? Were you able to kind of like get back in that mindset and pull that back out? Were those the games you grew up with? No.
My mother was not a fan of those games, so we were given Puzzle League, and we played Puzzle League. So I would play Stadium at friends' houses.
Got it.
I never played Gen 1 specifically the meta, but when I was in college, I played on not Showdown, but like I watched videos. I watched people play, dabbed a little bit. I got crushed. I never, stayed up to date with what was meta and whatever.
Yeah.
But I do have at least some awareness. You don't want to stay in. You want to make sure to predict what your opponent's doing.
Well, today you came into our house and you're able to sweep through everyone. So, was there any MVP on your team that you'd say? Who do you think put in the most work?
That's tough. It's going to be a tie between Nidoking and Gengar.
Yeah.
The first match I had, I needed Gengar to survive to take out Kadabra. Kadabra tossed a Psychic. Gengar lived and then knocked that Kadabra.
And it's such a high variance game. Was there any point where you felt secure, or were you sweating the whole time? Because I can tell you, we were sweating the entire time. Because there's so many high variance moves, the paras, the confusion.
Yeah.
And then even we talked about that a lot in the commentary booth. There's a 1 out of 65,000 chance that 100% accurate move will just miss. So even if you think everything's locked up, it could just be over. You know what I mean? So it was incredibly fun to watch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was sweating out. I was hoping Jolteon would not have gone down before Persian. I needed to outspeed Persian.
Yeah.
At least paralyze it or something.
Yeah, in that first game it got paralyzed so often, but in that second game, striking back with the critical hits, really showing the value of the Mon, yeah. What were your biggest things after losing game 1 that you thought you had to adjust going into game 2?
I think it was the opener.
Yeah.
On every team I'd played so far, Jolteon was the fastest Pokemon each time, so I was guaranteed to go first.
Yeah.
So I always opened up with Jolteon, either to switch out or Toxic or something.
Yeah.
I did misplay in the first one. So Jolteon knows Toxic, the opponent knows that Jolteon knows Toxic.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to switch into Executor. Well, I didn't think he was going to switch. So I choose Toxic. No, I'm going to choose Thunderbolt, super effective, but I misplayed there.
Yeah.
Should have used Toxic. That set me back in the first match.
Yeah. But absolutely able to come back for that. But very well played. Congratulations on winning. I think it's just a moment we're going to get you your trophy. And anything else you want to say before we wrap up? But thanks again so much for coming out here.
I didn't think I was going to go this far. This was really cool. I wasn't aware that Xanadu Games was here. I knew PokeCon was coming up. I wasn't aware of Xanadu Games itself.
Yeah, and both apparently the first and second place were both eliminated. Didn't even make it to losers finals this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So very
That's
well played.
unusual.
We had some people experience there. I came, I'm like, I watched a 45-minute YouTube video last night. So I thought that would put me in first place in meta knowledge. But very much not so. I went 0-2 today.
No,
a lot
I
of people
skipped
had the
that.
strats and had the mons I hadn't even considered that were able to put in enormous amounts of work. So yeah. Congratulations.
Meta's really well designed for Gen 1. So you definitely want Pokemon that are gonna. Also, actually, I think the biggest thing is that there was no Chansey.
Yeah.
No Chansey. That would have been the one downfall for me. My only physical attacker was Nidoqueen. If Nidoqueen fell, I would have been stuck.
The thing is, because of the way the stadium moves work, even the special attackers will have a random physical move, like the Egg Bomb on Executor. So there was a chance, but it's just so volatile against the Chansey. Especially the minimize. I was afraid we might end up seeing a minimized Chansey on stream. Just go for it. But Chansey has such low PP without PPFs, only 5 in each of its moves. So it's a fascinating metagame. And if you liked it, the Switch games are now, the Stadium games are on Nintendo Switch Online. You can even play online. So play your friends. You can hack some out of battles, as we.
No, I skipped that. I skipped Chansey. My Clefable knew Minimize. I purposely skipped that move. That just wasn't worth it.
Was it worth it, or was that out of a sense of honor?
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You're going to keep doing that. I mean, probably both. It wasn't worth it in that it would just waste time.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not going to sit there and try to frustrate my opponent.
Yeah.
Plus, also, if it doesn't work out, I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that Clefable, again, another one that we didn't expect, put in a lot of work.
It's
Tanked
surprising.
those
A lot of people
hits,
don't
did more
understand
than we
that.
expected with Tri-Attack, and got that huge crit, even with its low base speed, still
It's
being
really
able to pull
bulky.
off the crit. Yeah. So great job, well played. I don't know if, I think they're going to announce all the winners, but just on stream if you want to hold up your trophy.
Alrighty.
Anyway, so just a little preview. Congratulations for winning Baltimore PokeCon.
This is awesome.
Congratulations for taking the stadium tournament once more.
Thank you. This is really cool. It was unexpected too.
Yeah.
It's a pleasant Sunday.
Yep, that's it. I just, someone gonna close it up? Should I close it up? Or do you want to get a pick? Yeah, do you want to, come in and close it out. I'll get my other commentary. I was the pinch hitter. But thank you so much, everyone, for watching and for coming out. This was an incredibly fun event. I had a great time. I'm absolutely coming back next year. Anyone watching, if you can make it, I'd encourage you to make it out, or at least to tune in, because this has been a ton of fun.
Yeah, this has been so much fun. There's been so many cool events. There's so much more going on than just the games do. There's TCG stuff going on. There's a marketplace. We had the events running for like all the old games, so if you didn't have the legendaries, like the event legendaries, you could get them from the events here.
Distribution cartridges,
Yes. So, please, if you're a Pokemon fan at all, you gotta check out PokeCon.
Yeah.
We will be back. There will be a PokeCon 4. You have gotta see it. But for today, that is all we have for the competition stream. So that's going to be us signing off.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure to commentate with you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to commentate with you, too. It was great to meet you.
This was great. So this is going to be me, Consort, signing off.
I'm Nicholas Rubing, or the Mismatcher, at Nicholas Rubing on Twitter. I might as well plug myself at this point.
right, exactly. And we will catch you around.
Yeah, thank you.